Yep.
Oh shit, sorry.
Yellow.
Oh, look.
Why am I so sensitive?
Yes, move up.
Good day, good week.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, well, you've been to a Deftones gig.
I went to watch Deftones.
How was that?
Good. Do you know what was really good about it?
What?
It finished at 10:15 in the evening, which is just lovely.
So you were home before midnight?
No, I got home at half midnight.
Yeah.
From South London to where I'd parked the car was an hour. God, this is good, isn't it? It's interesting. But yeah, it was good. I took my...
You take a camera? That's what I was getting into.
Well, so I didn't want to because I didn't want to have to take a bag. And I was going to put a roll of film in my Mewtwo because it's so pocketable. But I also wanted to use the roll of film that I had in my Pentax 17. And I did take it with me and I took one photo. And that wasn't at the gig.
Oh, best photo in the world, though?
Well, it probably hasn't come out because I was holding a bottle of water and a sandwich in my other hand, and it was of somebody who had made basically a bus stops next to me when I was walking to the tube station, and there was a man who on the back of the bus who'd like made himself almost like a little bed in the back of the bus, and he was like just laying there. And I had my camera in my little man bag. But I also had a bottle of water and a sandwich, so I had to like...
You need a bigger man bag.
So I was like, oh, right, so I put it all in one hand, got my camera out, and obviously it's all manual, so I had to do all the settings, and then hold it up with one hand, and the bus started moving off, so I don't think it's going to be the best photo I've ever taken.
But you're at the end of that roll of film now, so you can go get it.
Absolutely not, no. I've still got probably 50 photos to take on there. So
speaking of half frame, though... Didn't you go and look at a new half frame camera?
Yeah, well, let this be the last we ever speak about that camera because
you didn't like it.
I was going to say because we've spoken about it so much. So I would say what a missed opportunity to make a really fun, usable camera.
Tell people what we're talking about.
Right.
What camera?
Yeah, right.
They probably know they've been checking it out week by week.
Yeah, I mean, so the Fuji X Half, as it's known, I don't know if that's its official name, but it does have a nice engraving on the top bit of plastic that says X Half. It looks really cool.
I think it looks like a great camera, but
right.
I've not had hands-on experience. But
so I went into the Fuji store. So just to have a look, this is a camera that, if you remember, I said if it's under £1,000, I'm buying it. When they actually announced it, I was like, well, there's no buttons on the back, which is fine. I'm happy with that. Just two little touch screens, which is quite kind of, okay. Then I found out that it doesn't shoot RAW, which I can live with on a Fuji camera particularly, but you cannot customize the film preset, or you can't customize the presets. So that's a bit short-sighted, I think. So you can only use the built-in ones. And to be honest, the built-in film sims they're so... When you flick through all the different ones that they've now got, they're so similar.
I was going to say, it feels like from the hands-on experience you had, does it feel like they've tried to pack loads of features into what it is, or they've stripped it back as much as possible, but they haven't put the right features into the camera that you necessarily want?
Maybe that last one. It's almost like they've picked some random features and chucked them at it. I don't know, it's an odd one. So when I first bought Fuji X Pro 2, you had like Provia for like standard image quality, like color, Velvia, like contrasty, vivid colors, and one that most people use, color chrome. And then I think like ProNeg and a couple of black and white options. And it was like they were different enough for you to go, that's really cool. And
but the presets are quite a big feature within this camera,
they
right?
are. Yeah. So you pick the camera up. First, I picked it up and was like, oh, it's so little. The first thing I thought of was put a little strap on that.
Yeah.
Just put that round. You could wear that all day.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. You barely even notice it. It'd be a lovely camera to carry around all day.
Yeah.
Pick it up, put it to your eye. It all starts going downhill from there. So the viewfinder,
what's the viewfinder like?
It's small.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the viewfinder, which in and of itself isn't crazy. if you bought an old point and shoot Pentax something or other, you haven't got viewfinder lines necessarily, or you might do, but what you kind of, without thinking about it, without realizing it, what you expect on a digital camera is a little square or something in the middle that's white, and when you're not in focus, it's red when you half press the shutter, and it goes green when it is in focus. There's nothing there. They have two little lights next to the viewfinder, but the way that they've placed them, they're kind of hidden when you've got your eye next to it. When you got they're like under the lip of the viewfinder, so they're really badly placed. So that's kind of annoying. Okay, you might say, well, who cares, because it's autofocus, right? So you'll be able to just take a photo anyway. The autofocus is so slow. The processor in it must be just. It's not and you're paying £700 for this camera, or $800 something dollars. So they've got this 1-inch vertical sensor. Interesting. That's fine. They've got some stuff that they've basically taken from the Instax cameras, where it does like light leaks and different stuff like that. So okay, but that's, you do kind of expect that on an Instax rather than. Which is
a main selling feature for a camera like this.
So you're like, okay, the lens is like quite decent lens. You can fiddle with the you can change the aperture. You can use manual focus. You have a rewind or a lever.
A lever, like a shutter lever, yeah. I remember what you're saying about this.
But
we'll get onto that.
The shutter lever on the Instax camera that you use to print off your photos is more pleasurable to use than this. It's just like...
Doesn't it stay sticking out, though, a little bit as well?
Right, and that's the other thing. You turn it on and it just sits slightly away, so it's not flush to the camera.
Yeah.
And then when you turn the camera off, you have to physically like push it back in. And then it has...
is that a problem if you were carrying it around on a strap and you just had it hanging down by your side? Would it?
No, it's out a little bit, and then it's got these film sim, like film simulation modes in terms of, that's probably the wrong word for it, like, but you can choose to shoot 36, 54, or 72 photos before you can look at them. Which I think is a really cool feature, but it's not very well implemented, because you have to take the next photo, you have to wind the lever, which makes sense, but sometimes the lever doesn't engage, so you go, why am I not moving on to the next photo? That's not what you want.
If they had those things built in and they put a higher price tag on it, would your argument then be,
it would just be too much money? Because then they're eating into like the X100, the XE5 market.
Why would you pick that over so many of them?
Exactly. So it's like, hey, it's half the price of the X100 V, 6 or whatever they've got, but it's not half the camera. It's like an eighth of the camera. And it's cool doing the vertical, half frame type thing, and there's a few different cool things you can do. But
what's the megapixels on it? 24?
I think it's 17 effective megapixels. But the viewfinder, it was frustrating to use, and this, to me, that's like a party camera, a street camera, or something like that. And it's just not performing in the way that you just want it to, like, you want a point and shoot that's going to go be reliable, take a photo, but it's like, I'm going to autofocus now. Yeah, right, I'm in focus. And that also was painful to use.
One of the features is all the film sims, right? How often do you really go through film sims? Do you know what I mean?
This is
you tend to set and forget, or maybe, any given day you might change it, but you're not going to be changing things like that consistently.
They've got 2, 3, I think 4 cameras now that have a film sim dial on it, and you're like...
No one's asked for that.
Don't need that. An ISO dial, give me an ISO dial. Oh yeah, so the other thing, on top of the it's not rewind,
I feel like we should have the
lever.
Camera here. I feel like Fuji should have sent us
I'll
a
just Photoshop one in. Like, they've got a exposure compensation dial. No, that should be shutter speed, and then you've got your aperture on the front, and then the other thing, the one button that they have put on the back, is to flick between photo and video. Who's filming with that camera? And it's terrible quality, the video.
But terrible in a cool kind of way that you've seen things now. It just looks bad.
And And the other thing is you've got 2 touchscreens on the back. One is quite nice to use. It literally just flicks between film simulations, and it looks like the preview window on the back of a camera where you can see what film you've got in the camera. To me, it should be on the other side of the camera, but it's not the end of the world. But the touchscreen menu it's like using an Android phone from 15 years ago. It's like, okay, it's like jerky, and it just didn't work nicely. And the whole thing about using Fuji cameras is they've got external dials to change your settings, and this hasn't. It's got an aperture ring, but otherwise you've got to delve into the menu to change all the settings.
Was the touchscreen like smooth and responsive, or was it?
No, that's what I'm saying. It was like, it was too slow. It should be, if you're gonna only have a touch screen and no like D-pad or anything like that, it's got to be iPhone quality.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just frustrating to use. I desperately wanted to walk out of that shop and buy that camera when I went in, and as soon as I picked it, it feels a bit cheap, but it's plastic and whatever. But I was like, no, I don't. It needs to be less money, and it needs to. Internal processor needs to be faster, and it needs some changes to the externals in terms of what dials they've put on there, because it was just a little painful experience, and I am totally the target market for that camera.
I know this for a fact, because it's something that it's been a talking point for yourself over the last couple of months since they announced it, whatever. So that being said, then, you being target audience, would you still recommend it to someone who maybe would shoot different?
I would recommend it to no one. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. So, if you want that experience of shooting those kind of grainy photos with some of the effects that you can add onto it, and switching between film sims, which you're probably not going to use as much as you think you are, buy an Instax Mini Evo, which is
that the digital and print version?
Yes. Yeah. So you can print them. You can just take digital photos. It's got a 1-inch. It has a vertical sensor, but obviously you can it's kind of designed to hold either way, but it's the menu is vertical. It's a 1/5 of an inch sensor size, but it's actually a really fun camera to use, and you expect it to kind of be slow, and it's £100 or 130 quid or something like that, and it's really fun.
That's interesting. Do you think the half frame Fuji will become a little bit of a novelty camera now then?
I mean, it should have a fucking printer on it.
Yeah.
And then people might be like, if it was half the price and was actually part of the Instax range, that would kind of make it a little bit interesting. You've got an Instax camera with a proper lens. And you can do some cool stuff with it, but it's like neither here nor there. But saying I'm the target market for it, I'm not saying like I'm a baller, but I could afford to buy it, right? Yeah. Whereas I think the sort of people that would buy it are maybe younger people who want to just take vertical photos. It's a little bit of a party camera, but that kind of thing. But they're probably not going to spend £700 on a camera. And if they are going to spend £700 on a camera, buy an X Pro 2, an old one, the greatest camera ever made.
As you said, you would have been a target audience for this camera. You're excited for the release of this. You're excited to get your hands on it. Now you've done all that, and you've got your opinions on this. What would you rate it out of 10?
Half. Because it's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? If you've got one of these cameras, let us know your thoughts.
Didn't mean for that entire... Yeah, sorry. No. But didn't mean for this entire episode to be about a camera that I hate.
No. But let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you've got this camera. Let us know what your initial reactions are. Is it something you're going to be using or not using?
Right, print of the week.
Print of the week.
It's not that.
I don't want to look yet. I'm not looking yet.
What's that?
Oh,
yes.
Well, that's very interesting.
I thought it was some... You know when people take a picture and flip it upside down?
Yeah.
Which I find annoying. And people are like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then I'm like...
That's got lots of different photos within it.
Yeah.
And Troyden de Cruz.
Yeah, so he's...
That's a pretty badass name, isn't it?
It is. And...
Canary Wharf as well.
Yeah, Troyden is on Instagram. We already follow them. So great.
Oh my god, do you have your laptop invert?
Yes.
Oh my.
Because I'm old school.
Oh.
I got a Mac like many years ago, and it was originally the Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. So anyway, back to the photo. Back to the photo.
Right. So I picked it because it looks like an inverted photo.
Yep.
But it isn't. It's
Inverted. You mean flipped?
It's the same thing, isn't it? Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, flipped. Sure. And it's not. And it made me go, oh, right, cool. But do you know what? That.
It looks cool like that.
Oh, Troyden, you should
That
flip
looks-
this photo.
Yeah, because it looks like
fucking
the end
sweet.
of a road, doesn't it?
That's so good.
End of the world.
It looks like Inception or something.
Yeah. If you took those little branches out at the top, or what would be our bottom left if it was flipped, or the other way.
Oh, it's
Very-
so confusing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the way that's like that part of the building
Yeah.
that's on the top. Okay, as it's
Ironically,
flipped.
I'm looking up more as
Yeah.
it's been flipped. Hang on, isn't that just the beauty of that though? Maybe Troyden knew that you could have it any way you please. Well, like you could with any photo, really. But if you bought that print, it's up to you which way you hang it, isn't it? It's up to you which way to display it. But yes, I completely agree. When that is flipped upside down, it looks awesome.
It's
and I
actually
really,
really sweet.
I really like the colour.
Yeah.
Like this greeny, bluey kind of hue. So I think I just touched your penis then.
No.
But yeah, with the double yellow lines coming from the road, just looks
It's so
really interesting. Now I can only see that image that
yeah,
way.
yeah. I might buy it.
Yeah.
Just because it's £45,
Yeah,
man.
nice.
That's
Bargain.
this is what you should be doing.
Yeah, and the colour of the like the light reflecting off the window is really nice, and just the fact that person on the bike there, it looks awesome. But yeah, now you've shown me that, 100% agree that
Yeah,
I'm
it should
more
be
drawn to
flip
it.
round.
Flip
Right.
down.
So congratulations, Troyden. You win.
A
Print of the
Leica
Week.
M6.
Yeah, Leica M6 and 800 rolls of film.
Just to clarify, we don't have
No.
like M6 here, but yeah, let us know your thoughts on this photo. Leave a comment down below, or send us a message, or even better, send Troyden a message, or go to his gallery.
Yeah, link
And buy
in the
it.
description to buy it, to follow them on Instagram maybe as well.
Yeah. I don't know, you do this bit, so whatever you can be bothered to do.
Do you want to talk about anything else?
No.